Whoa! Welcome back to the fun zone. The next guest we're about to have goes by the name of Sunshine Scott, and I'm very, very excited to be speaking with her. I honestly, transparently, don't know a lot about what she does, and I think that's going to be part of what's so exciting. So I think she's so cool and so talented, and yeah, let's do it. Let's just jump in. Checking the 1, 2. Hey, 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 hey. Yo, yo, yo. Sunshine Scott, can you hear me?
Hello. Oh, I see you.
Hey.
Hey,
Hi. It is so good to see you. Oh my goodness. What's up? Hey, I'm
it's so
Freeze.
good to
Nice
see
to
you
meet you.
too. I'm trying to get my AirPods to do the thing, but it's joining with my computer audio. But whatever, I'll just.
What? You want to try? You can try more if you want.
I
Doesn't
mean, you want to just sit here and
Yo,
watch?
it just worked, I think. Whoa. It was happened for a second. You sounded like crystal clear.
Oh, whoa. Okay, wait.
What do I sound like now?
You sound amazing.
I sound good? Okay, well, I guess that works then. I just didn't
Whoa.
want your audio to bleed through.
Yeah, you weirdly sound great and there's no
Okay,
bleed.
well,
So,
perfect then.
what's up? Hello, my name's Freeze. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you go by Sunshine or Sunny?
Sunshine, sunny. I mean, more normally sunshine, but either way.
Yeah. It's really great to meet you. Transparently, I don't know a lot about what you do, but I follow you on Instagram, and you came to Space Prom.
Yes, several times. I went to 2 years of it.
Really? Which 2 years?
Not this past one. So I think it was 2018 and 2017, I believe. Wait,
Cool.
what year
Yeah.
is it? It's
No.
2020. Oh gosh, everything's
So
late.
you went to the one at Lucky Bamboo
Yes, yeah, I went to that one.
and the one at Mercy Lounge.
Yes. Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. And then you posted about it, and I just saw your account, and I think what you do is super cool, and
Thank
you
you.
just have an amazing aesthetic. And I gather that you are a musician.
Yes.
You make amazing TikToks. Oh my goodness, I was just looking at your TikTok account. It's absolutely you have 4 million likes, which I feel like is just an insane number. What on earth?
I don't know. People are out here. Like I
You're
don't know.
out
I'm like
here.
surprised too.
What else do you do?
Well, I'm predominantly a musician. I went to school for being a musician. I'm vocally been trained my whole life, classically trained in vocals.
Cool.
And I just like to create. I really love to create and perform. I love acting. I love any sort of creation and performance that I can get my hands on. What I do day to day, I guess, right now is a lot of writing songs and staring out the window, wishing I could go places.
Yes,
But
yes. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, I do. I consume a lot of media. I really like watching shows, and I like Studio Ghibli movies, and I really like.
Cool.
I like to eventually. I'd like to start creating things like that to do with music. So I don't know. I just like to take it all in and like get inspiration from it and just create.
Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, I also love Studio Ghibli.
What's your favorite?
I think my favorite would be is Spirited Away. But
Spirited Away. That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
really
yeah.
good one. That
I
one
don't know if
was my
that's
favorite for
basic.
a long time.
What's your favorite now?
I think it. Well, I know it's Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, okay. That would be my second pick. I mean, that one is oh my goodness, that one's amazing.
Yeah. Have you read the book?
No, have you?
I've literally, okay, I have this bad habit of I'll read something or I'll like watch something until the last like episode of the last chapter and then I just won't read the last chapter because in my mind, if I don't read the last chapter, it's still going on. It doesn't have to end. So I've read
Wow.
all of the book except for the last chapter, but I should probably actually like
Wow, no
finish it.
way. That's a really interesting thing to do. I kind of
Yeah,
feel
I
like
don't know.
I mean, the last chapter of every book, like I start getting really emotional. It's
Yeah,
really hard to finish a book.
yeah.
That's
I don't know. I
incredible.
get intimidated. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be over. Like,
Yeah.
no, it can't be over.
Yeah,
Like I
right.
can't watch the end of like Adventure Time without sobbing every time. Like the last episode comes on and I'm like, no, I gotta leave. I gotta go.
Oh, yeah, right. That's wow. Okay, that's very. I think I can relate to that. That's funny. Are you that's cool that you said you watch a lot of shows. That's really interesting because you seem to be incredibly productive. So on top of that, to be really into like media as well is like pretty impressive.
I try to be productive. I feel like I'm always on hyperdrive. Like I'm just constantly, if I'm not, well, I multitask. First of all, I
Yeah.
multitask a lot. So I like will have something on the TV while I'm like writing a song, or I'll like have be like working on photo editing or like merch or something like that. And like, because I've been putting together this kind of stuff for a long time and just haven't like put it out there yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just like stockpiling until I can
Wow.
release it. But like I do a lot of I've had to kind of be my own um editor as well as everything else, because I mean
Right.
it costs money to like hire people to like edit things, so I'm just like, well, I guess I'll learn to do it myself. It
Yeah.
takes a long time, but I learned Photoshop, I learned drawing programs and like Medibang and like just different like digital tablet drawing, and so I've been able to make album art with that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I just find visual art and like fashion and stuff that you can see um very very fascinating. And like I have a really like, whenever I write music, I think of it visually first a lot of times. Like
Mm.
it'll be like I'll think of the song and I'll think of like, okay, well what am I what do I first of all, what do I want it to feel? What do I want like the listener to feel like when they're hearing it? And second of all, what is the world that I've imagined in my head and what do I want it to become? And so like uh I've learned how to kind of put that down in a way as far as like drawing it out or expressing it through fashion or whatever I can.
Wow. That is really cool. I actually feel the exact same way, and I've never met anyone else who says that. I
Really?
always say
That's
when I'm
so
writing a song, I imagine I can like feel it, and I'm like in a certain place. I'll be like on like a street, and
Yep.
like it's dark, and it like feels this kind of weather. Like that's yeah. To me, it's like a whole visceral like feeling.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was literally riding my bike the other day and I was like, I stopped in the middle of like, not the middle of the street, but like in the sidewalk. And I was like, this feeling that I feel right now riding this bike, I want to write a song that feels like this feeling. Like, and so I went home and I started one, didn't finish it, but I
Wow.
started it.
Wait, what's your music under? Is it on Spotify? You have anything
I have a cover out right now on Spotify under Sunshine Scott, but
cool?
I'm gonna be releasing pretty soon my first single, which I'm super stoked about.
Whoa,
I was
what?
supposed to release it forever ago, but like, COVID happened, so it made it a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm
Wow, that's
hoping, yeah,
interesting. Are you
gonna do
from
pretty
the
soon.
area originally?
I'm from Nashville uh, originally. Grew up in like Murfreesboro, Tennessee,
Mm.
and yeah, I've been around. I would like to go, you know, places because I have been here my whole life. But like, as far as music goes, it's a great place to be.
Yeah,
So,
right. How have we never crossed paths? I grew up in like Nolensville. I'm born and raised
I,
here too.
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I have two friends that live in Nolensville right now. I don't know. I don't
You have
know.
friends who
Maybe,
live in Nolensville?
yeah,
Whoa, what? That's crazy. I never meet
yeah. It's a
anyone
small
who,
world.
who lives in that area. I feel like I'm totally
Really? No, I
out
have
here in
two
suburbia.
friends too. They both went to like high school around there.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So do you consider yourself first and foremost a musician or just a artist or a creator?
I guess I would consider myself a creator, but I mean, like, it goes very hand in hand. Like, cause in my mind, I'm like, when I'm writing songs is my most output that I do as a creator. Um, but like everything else kind of comes like right after that. Cause I'm like, if I were to have to pick one thing to do, like versus like being able to do like five things, I would be like, use music. But I love like
Interesting.
acting too.
Yeah, right. Well, why? I'm interested. Has it always been music? Has it always been? Would that have always been your top priority or top pick and passion?
Yeah, actually, growing up, I've been singing since I was 2 years old. And I've been like, my mom was a touring musician back in the 70s and 80s. And
No way.
yeah, she was with, it was called, the group was called Dave and Sugar. They were a country, like, pop group, and they toured all around the world. And like, she was on the CMAs and like all sorts of
Wow.
stuff. But, so I was, raised by a performer. And so, performing was just like in my blood. And my dad is a musician. He's like an incredible guitar player, and he plays banjo and violin. And I actually grew up with a large country background just because of, you know, the where I live and also my parents' backgrounds. But now I
Cool.
kind of do more, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a mixture of pop, rock, and jazz.
Wow, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's morphed into. We'll see. I guess else can label it once it's out there, and then
Yeah, right.
it'll make more sense.
So you said you have music coming like within next year, or
Yeah, I within this, I think either before the end is up or right when the year begins.
cool. A single or an
Yeah,
EP,
it's
an
gonna be a
album?
single, and
Cool.
it's actually called Wildflower, and I'm super duper excited about it. It's a song I wrote with my brother, and my
Oh,
brother goes by Stir Fry online. He's a EDM producer, and so
okay. Stir
literally
fry. I gotta
we,
write that down.
yeah, we like literally wrote the song together to be a like we wrote it to be an electronic beat with the song, except then we adapted it to all live instruments from that beat.
Whoa.
So it was like a weird like transition. So it's like the actual music in the song sounds like crazy, like because it's literally it started out as a beat, and then we, you know, got live musicians to play it.
Wow, that's incredibly interesting. Who recorded the songs?
So I've been working with a producer in Nashville named Rick Webb, and he's amazing. And so we've been working with him with like getting musicians in to like uh, do the song. And that one we actually recorded that forever ago. We recorded that like last year, maybe the year before. Like it's been a long haul, but you know
Yeah.
how it goes sometimes. But we wanted
Yeah.
it to be really good, so we were like, we're gonna wait, and then now we're like, okay, we can't wait anymore.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow. Okay, this is really interesting to me. I did not realize that music was your main. What was your
Yeah.
main? That's really
I
cool.
know, I know. I'm like, I feel like a lot of people don't know. And I'm like, it's probably because on my TikTok and everything, I like mostly put just fairy content, aesthetic, like fashion. Like, I just really have a passion for those things. And those have been the things that have been easiest to get out there right now, as far
Yeah,
as like just like getting them done. Because I myself am not a great producer. Like, so I have to go out and like go to my producer or go to like another like source in order to get something put
sure.
together to release. So I'm like, well, what I can do on my own is write songs by myself, but then dress up like a fairy in the afternoons.
That's crazy. I feel like dressing it like for real. Like I'm like your TikToks or like the stuff that you make on Instagram as well. That could take up your whole day. Like you
Oh,
seem
it does.
so I just don't like I'm just impressed that this is like your side project. You're like, well, mainly music, but I also do that. Like this is incredible. This could like is you were just incredibly talented.
Thank
I'm
you.
very very impressed by what you do, and
Oh,
I'm really
thank you. I
excited to see
appreciate that.
what you do, how it all like continues to correlate together. Because I feel like, and you already know this because you're succeeding at it, but um, I think now more than ever we live in a world where artistry is a culmination of the audio and the visual, you know, of pictures and
Yes.
videos and making multi social media really a brand. It's
Yes.
personalities and brands more than ever. I feel like it's what the industry is like dominated by. Those are the people who make it to the top, and clearly you understand that because you're doing such a good job of
Thank you.
combining all those things already. You know, is that how you feel about it?
I like pretty things, and so I'm like, what if I dressed up in sparkles, and then I could put that on there, and then that's like, there's my serotonin for the day. Like,
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know. I'm like, when I feel bad, I literally will just go into my closet and be like, okay, let's put on something fancy, and then sit, and then go to bed. But like, put on something fancy at least. Um, but no, I feel like it's like I agree with like I really try. I've noticed that like a lot of people will put out things that it's an immersive experience. It's not just like the music, and the music itself is incredible, and I love to hear like just the music, but I feel like there's something so amazing when somebody adds an outlying like story as well, or somebody adds like even like an outfit to it that like makes sense with the feeling that you get from the
Right.
song. Like, I don't know, I live in like aesthetics. Like I love it so much. And I mean, being a former like music student and like having to learn like about all the aesthetics within music itself, it really helped me to, once I left the mindset of just thinking about it in the music way, I could think about it with everything. And
Yeah.
so when I'm writing a song, a lot of times I will just, I'll have an image in my head and I'll think, okay, I want to write a song that makes me feel like that image. Or, like we talked about earlier, like riding the bike. Like, I just really like to put themes, and one of my main goals is to make music and to make an experience that people can escape into, and forget about what's going on that day, so that they can, I don't know, maybe come back to the real world once they're done and be refreshed, and maybe take something back that they can use in their daily lives. And even if it's just to make someone smile, like that's perfectly fine with me. Like, I just
Yeah.
like performing. I'm a performer, and I like to make people laugh. I like to make them smile. I want to make pretty things for them to look at, music for them to smile to and feel to. I don't know.
Totally. Have you done a lot of music performing so far, or has it been a lot mainly acting so far for you?
I've done, like, growing up, I've done tons of performing. I was like, I did a lot of musicals. I was Annie in Annie when I was 8 years old. I was
No way.
Amy March in Little Women in high school. I was Sharpay in High School Musical in high school. In college, I was Jane in Peter Pan. Like,
Yep.
I've done a lot of like musical like acting. So I don't know. I'm still laughing at them.
I personally was in Annie Junior in High School Musical as well.
Oh my!
I think that's
Oh,
and I think it's not a lead, but but I just think that's, I mean, those roles are just perfect, and Sharpay just tickles me because I just think that's
oh.
a hilarious one for you to be. I don't know, it's just great.
I was really good at being sassy.
I can see
It was
that.
really fun. That was probably one of my favorite roles to play. My close second, though, as far as like Annie was like it will always be close to my heart, because I was like 8 years old. That was my first performance ever, and I got to be Annie. Like, that was like
Yeah,
huge for me. But like, I
totally.
loved being Jane and Peter Pan because I got to fly. Like,
Oh
I got to
wow.
fly. Like,
Oh my goodness.
if I could ever have one thing in a live show, it would be to like give me those chords, hook me up. I want to fly across the stage.
That would be really cool. I saw Kanye perform on, which tour was it? It was, I can't remember. I think it was for it was on the, what is it, St. Pablo, is that what it's called? That tour.
I
Do you
think
know what I'm
so.
talking about? Anyway, he was performing, like he had the whole pit, like standing room pit filled, and then he was on this stage that was floating over the audience. And
Oh, that's
it
cool.
would even move like this, like it would like go like sideways, and he was hooked on something where he couldn't fall.
Oh, that's
Um Yeah,
cool.
it
Dang.
was one of the most dope things I've ever seen. And there was like no
I've
background dancers, total minimalism, just him up on
Wow,
like
on
a
like a
floating
flying
platform.
saucer stage.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Crazy. No, but I guess I've done like performing with a band, and like I have like a band that
Cool.
I regularly work with that like plays the songs, and we're actually wanting to start to live stream as soon as we can, like, and we're gonna probably live stream like 2 songs at a time, like once a week. um and like that's kind of like
Wow.
a live performance, I guess.
Yeah.
But as far as like stage stuff, I've done like regular like songwriter things and like playing things with the band, but I hadn't like had it like a regular spot at any place recently, or
Yeah.
you know
Well, I gotta say, I'm really inspired by your adaptability because I personally also, grew up doing theater and choir, and I've been performing for a long time, and I very much am comfortable and love live performance.
Yes, I mean, obviously you killed it at all. Like a space problem, I would be like standing there like, what's happening? Like,
No way,
yes.
really?
I had a
Oh,
blast. Like, you put on a
wow.
show, sir. You truly do.
Thank you so much. How did you know about it? Was it just sparked your interest? Did you
I
just see,
think,
oh, space prom, that sounds cool.
yeah, I think I saw, well, the first time I had seen, I think the year before I'd seen like ads or something, or not ads, but like I'd seen like it promoted or something. I don't remember. I'd seen something about it, and I was like, oh, I want to go to that. I was like, that looks like fun. And I've like love vintage stuff, and I love like the thrifting scene, and I love all that kind of stuff. So I was like,
Yeah.
it's all vintage, and like, but like they're playing all these music through the decades. And then my friend Allison was performing the one at the bistro, and so I was like, I
Yeah,
have to go
Allison.
now. I was like, Allison's gonna perform.
Of course, Allison. That
Yeah.
totally adds up. She totally has a similar like love for all types of artistry,
Yeah. Yeah.
put together into this like
Oh
beautiful
yeah, she makes
package.
awesome stuff.
Wow, that totally makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah, yeah. Allison, I think she kicked off the whole night. She did like
Yep.
30s style music, I want to say.
I think yeah, it was either 20s or 30s, but I
Yeah,
loved it. I
20s
was
maybe.
like, I loved how it like progressed from like the 20s or 30s to like basically like and then the 80s. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. But
That
it was
means the world.
especially a neat concept for a show. Like I just remember seeing it like and being like, I can't believe like something like this hasn't happened before because this is like so like this is life changing.
Cool. Yeah. Wow, that means a lot. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Space Prom has been a really, really fun way for me to kind of work more towards something that's more than just a regular show, which is I've always been
Yeah.
interested in like high production, but doing music on such a DIY level with like no budget, you know, a lot of times like our tours right now are just pretty rock and roll. It's pretty like you roll out on stage with your amps and you plug in and play, and I can dress nice. Maybe I'm wearing a fur coat or something, but I'm not,
Yeah.
there's not like choreography or like,
Yeah.
a big stage plot and set
Mhm.
design, which I've always been interested in. And which is
Yeah, me
one main
too.
reason why I want to like grow my music and grow my artistry to a bigger scale is because I'm excited about the ways you can really show your artistry in bigger ways when you can have a bigger budget and have more people coming. There's just more
Yes.
options, I
No,
guess.
and I think you've done a really like amazing job of like making an amazing show for without like animatronics and things like that. Like I'm like I was just as entertained at that
Yeah.
show than I would have been at like I'm sure any other like a concert that was happening that was like a huge giant budget. I would still be like I still think Space Prom is cooler than a lot of concerts that I've been to like
Cool.
that. So
Wow. That means a lot coming from you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. And so, with Space Prom and with like that's definitely been my forte is live performance. And with COVID happening, this has been the most I've ever been home. Like I normally play like about 130 shows a year, and I'm just home. I'm with my family here in Nashville
Yeah.
since March, and like we literally had a tour get canceled and just came home, and we're like mid tour, and it's just been incredibly hard. And I have not, to be transparent, I don't really understand how to adapt. I've been spending this
Mhm.
whole year like working, like I have a TikTok now, and I post on Instagram every day, and just goofy stuff, not even like
Yeah, but
pathetic stuff,
just trying
but
to
just yeah, trying to have an online presence and like being more um on the internet. But
Mhm.
as a performer, I find it incredibly difficult because so much of what I do and so much of building my music and my movement has been through converting fans in a live setting. And
Yep.
I'm just interested in how you seem to share that like that feeling and like that passion for live, but yet you're able to just so like fluidly translate this into an amazing online experience. And like even what you're mentioning about a live stream, or whether it's like through TikTok or on Instagram, you very much are able to adapt. And I'm curious how that's possible.
It's been a struggle. As far as like, I don't know. I guess to start off, I would say I am an extreme extrovert, if you can't tell. So being like alone in my house, not doing things was like when it first happened. Because actually, I feel like I've been in quarantine for 2 years because after I graduated college, I lost sort of my routine. And I'm normally used to being chaotic. Like my routine is normally like solid. Moment I wake up, I'm going, like I hit the ground running, and then I would come home and I'd still be hitting the ground running. And like, so
Right.
I was used to living my whole life like that. And then
Totally.
once I graduated, then I was like, oh, suddenly there's nothing. And now I need money. And like, it was really a strange transition. And then going
Yeah.
into like quarantine from that, it was like, I was kind of in a spot of I was like, all right. Well, obviously I can't perform places. So I've lost the outlet of like being able to perform, like be in a play or like to, perform my actual music. So what
Right.
can I do to get this energy out and to like still be able to reach people and like to still be able to further this, to make things keep going so that whenever I do release music I can have a following and like other people can still, enjoy content like in the meantime. And so I had started out with Instagram, and I had started out really like trying to like make my post special and like just really diving into the things that I love, like makeup and like fashion, and kind of it kind of actually helped me in a way to lose my sense of what other people perceive me as, like, because
Mm.
I would normally like I'd go out in like something like an outfit that I'd be like, I love this outfit, but I'm going to the grocery store, why am I dressed like this? But like now I will just leave my house like in a corset to go to the grocery store. Like I have lost all sense of how people perceive me. It's because I'm just like, this is just who I am now, this is just what I
Oh, I
do.
love
So
that. I love that. That's awesome. I feel like that's I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a like you said, maybe it's a hard road to get there sometimes when you cut off
yeah,
like
I mean it's
this.
been hard.
Yeah, totally. Your social world has changed, and also have you moved, or do you still live in
I
Murfreesboro?
still live, yeah, I live like in the Murfreesboro area now, but it's like Nashville, Murfreesboro, back and forth, because all my production stuff is in Nashville.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess like I would like it started out as like, okay, I was like gonna dive into all these things that I like and like figure out really like what I love. And so I started making a lot of outfits. Like I love sewing, so I started making costumes.
Wow.
And I was like, well, for maybe when I do get to perform someday, then I would like will have a fun outfit to wear. And so I'd make those, and then I would get bored, and I'd be like, you know what? I want to wear this outfit now. So I'd like be like, you know what? You can do videos on and wear fancy things, and it's fun. TikTok. And so I would just like, I went from like watching just memes on TikTok to being like, well, here I am screaming into my mirror in a fancy outfit, and then people somehow liked that. So I kept
Yeah.
doing it.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Making clothing seems so intimidating to me. That's one thing that I've just never been able to figure
It's
out.
honestly start small. Like it's not as hard as you think. Because at first I was very intimidated too, but
Hmm.
then I was like, I always grew
You're
up kind
right.
of altering, huh?
I said you're
Oh,
right.
yeah, I
I'm
always like grew up
inspired.
kind of like altering things, and like I would always every Halloween I'd be like, this costume is garbage. I will redo it, and like I would like rip things apart and like safety pin it on. But if you start small with like a lot of times I would thrift something when I was first getting into it, and then I'd be like, okay, this needs to be a little shorter, so I'm just gonna take it in a little, which I just fold it, and then I do a little stitch on the inside, and then it's done. And so it's like you just start small, and then
Mm.
eventually I grew to being able to learn how to use patterns and sew things from literal scratch. I still, my favorite method is to alter things. I like to take a base item like a dress or a shirt and like totally like rip it up and redo it. Just because I just think it's fun. I have a
Yeah.
very bad habit of aggressively cropping everything I own. Like I will just be like, I'm bored with this shirt, and I'll just cut it. And I'll be like, well, it's a crop top now. Woo, fun. And I've done that too many times for now I don't have like any t-shirts that are the right length, and they're all crop tops, and I'm like, it's winter time. What am I gonna do?
Yeah,
It's a
totally.
slippery slope, let me tell you.
It is a slippery slope. Do you get into like the Depop game at all? Like, do you sell clothing?
I want to. I'm a hypocrite. I said I don't be intimidated, but I'm intimidated by like trying to sell things online, because I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, then I have to like pack them up and then I have to ship them. That's
dude. Yeah,
I've never done that. Like I don't
straight
know,
up.
but I'm like I have because I've done stuff that I've altered and literally just altered and finished it and been like, I will not wear this. It's cute. I'm not gonna wear it.
Yeah.
I guess I could sell it, you know. And it's like,
Hmm.
because I try to do a good job with my sewing and stuff, but then a lot of times I will just sew things and they'll be like, I'll be like, I would never sell this to somebody because it is so bad on the inside. They would like it would look fine on the outside, but the inside, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, they'll be able to see my stitches.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
I would
hear that.
eventually, I'd love to have like a line of clothes or like to sell things on Depop. I'm thinking about opening up an Etsy soon to start selling like little things like jewelry
Yeah.
and earrings, and like I wanted to kind of have them correlate to my music as I release them. I
Oh
thought that
my
would be really
gosh,
fun.
that's such a good idea. That's so cool. Yeah, I have a couple friends. Do you know like Sun Loves the Moon?
I literally just did a shoot with her.
No way. Are you
Literally
serious?
for one of my next song releases after this one.
No way. No, you're
Yeah.
kidding. You're kidding.
I
That's
literally
crazy.
just, yep.
Did you know that she's done all of my singles like in the last
All of
year?
them?
Yeah, like every cover. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew she had done some, but I didn't know she'd done all. That's insane.
Yeah,
But
she's
yeah,
my favorite.
she's literally like she's so talented. Like ecstatic to get to work with her, and like the photos turned out better than I like ever imagined. And
Oh,
like,
I cannot wait. I have to see these. I'm guessing, are they on Instagram? That's so cool. Have you posted them yet?
no, I'm gonna post them whenever I
Oh,
release the song. So
snap. I'm so excited. Yeah, she's
everything.
incredibly talented. She's incredibly talented. I have actually got a couple more shoots from her as well for future music releases.
Yes. Oh, I love. Yeah, her work just like it inspires me. I love the
Yeah,
colors. I love all the effects she uses. But yeah, no, she's incredible.
that's really cool. That totally, y'all are a perfect pair. That's great. She also makes with her sister. They make earrings, which I was.
Yes, yeah, I saw
Um,
the. I met her sister too.
yeah, Hannah. That's cool. Was their mom there as well?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, she comes to the shoots like almost every time
Oh
and helps
yeah,
out.
I was like, it was a great experience too. They had like hummus and pretzels, and I was like, I get a snack. Like,
Wow. Did they come to Nashville or did you take the trip to
I went there.
Chattanooga? Did you go to grandma's house? That's where I did my photo shoot.
I didn't go to grandma's house, I don't think, but I went to like their new studio.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, but I did go. I love Chattanooga, so I like after I did the shoot, I went to like this little tea shop called Wildflower Tea, I
Yeah,
think it's called.
Wildflower.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
I went to Collective Clothing because I love Collective Clothing.
I love Collective. I buy that's my
Yep,
favorite shop. I have been there.
I got stuff in my closet right now from there.
Yeah, same. That's that's so cool. That's amazing. I love that place. Yeah, Chattanooga is really special. I've thought about moving there before.
I have
It's
too. I
really
really like the
sweet.
vibe of it. It's like this is nice.
Yeah, and then you're only 2 hours from Nashville, 2 hours from Atlanta. So
Yeah,
I
right
don't
in
know.
between.
That could be cool. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess not that far away from Murfreesboro either.
Yeah, it's
Right,
really like
that's
it
on the
wasn't
way.
a bad drive at all.
That's cool. Wow, that's incredibly cool. Wow, I cannot believe this. This is just crazy because that's that's just so special. Um, that totally threw me off
I'm sorry.
my line. I was just so excited about that. You've inspired me to start trying to make clothing because that is something that I really have been
Yes,
looking. It's just
please.
it's
Oh my
and
god.
it's
If
funny to
you
hear you
need
say that
help,
about
tell me too. I'll help.
okay. I actually will. Actually will for real. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. With shipping as well. Like I do make merch, but I don't. Which to me is like square one of being in fashion at all. Is that I'm selling T-shirts that are like. But anyway, I was intimidated to do that as well because I was just like the whole process of shipping seemed incredibly intimidating to me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, even like making this podcast or whatever. It's like I actually have a really hard time uh with the like first step. Like I have a really hard time taking a first step, and then as soon as I do, I get really excited and I'll like go really far until I hit another one, and then I'll stop for a while. But it's like I don't know why. There's something that makes me just so nervous about starting things. I don't know
I
why.
do too. I'm seriously like, it might be just a musician thing or like a creative person thing. I get so
Maybe.
scared. I'm like, ugh. But that was how it was with TikTok too. I started out and every time I would post something, I would literally be shaking. Like, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna post it now. And I'd like
Yeah.
post it and then I'd be like, I can't look at my phone for 4 hours. Like, but like once I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna actually like full send into this and like really, try to make some quality content and like have a relationship with these followers and stuff like that. And then it started to really like work well for me. And I've actually been thinking about trying to do Twitch streams and stuff like that, just
Yeah.
because I just I just did a big project where I like got a PC for free because my friend likes to build PCs. And
Cool.
so we took it apart and we custom painted the outside, and it looks like all pastel pink and like Sailor Moon colors and like stuff like that. And so I was like, it's really cute. And I was like, I have a PC now. I could like play some games or like do whatever and just like stream it, and that would be fun. I could do music, I could do Minecraft. I don't
Oh
even
my
care, like
goodness. That would be
whatever.
so dude, that would be oh my gosh. Yeah, and you could like because you can create like a border for your
Yeah,
stream and you could like be yeah, exactly. You could be dressed up and just make it a whole aesthetic thing.
an
You could just
experience.
yeah, man, that's a really, really good idea.
Yeah, and I
That's
wanted
so
to have
cool.
like Q&As and stuff too, where I could like, because I like to have tea parties, as you probably know. So I was like, I could have like a weekly thing where I just have a tea party, and like, but I'm
Oh
sitting there
my
and I'm streaming it, and
goodness.
it's a Q&A, and people can just ask me questions, and I'll answer them, and like, just whatever.
Yeah, the only other person I know who does tea parties is my guitar player and best friend Grant. He but he's into like or I'm hoping I'll butcher this, but not as much of like the British idea of tea. He's really into, like the Asian idea of tea. Like he
Oh,
has this
yeah,
this
yeah.
Asian dishware. It's
Hmm.
like incredibly.
Like gong fu tea sets and stuff like that.
I suppose I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
It's on.
I have a couple of those. We have a Chinese tea shop in Murfreesboro, and so I go there sometimes
How
and get
cool.
tea and like little sets. But no, I actually have yeah, I have Chinese tea sets. I have one Japanese tea set. I have British style tea sets, and I
Whoa.
collect teacups. And I legitimately like I have a problem when it comes to things. I like stuff, and so I like will just collect a lot of these things that I don't need. Like, who needs 15 teacups? Apparently, I do. But so like I've been collecting, but I was like, I figured I might as well put it to good use, and like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you live with your family down there? Or you
Yeah, right now I'm living with my family. Actually, my room is the bonus room converted into a bedroom.
dude, I that's where I am right now.
Are you me?
This is really weird actually.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I'm in the bonus room right now where because I moved back. I tried moving out a couple times and just being a creative. I've honestly I have a pretty good relationship with my family and
Yeah.
I just I don't know. Like I go back and forth. Part of me, like I tried moving out because I was like, oh, this will be the best thing for my art because then I can like throw parties and I don't know. In my head, I was just gonna like have my own space and but then
Yeah.
I always come back to them just like and then I got a job. Like I worked at a grocery store and that's one of the few times I've like really worked a job and I hated it. It was like
Oh yeah.
because then I
Yeah.
already felt my whole life getting compromised and like forgive me anyone watching this who works a job, which is probably literally everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I get that kind of sounds privileged, but I just don't want to accept that I will do anything outside of artistry for my life. And if that means I have to live with my parents till I'm 35, I'm going to, you know?
Yeah, honestly, like I'm in the same boat where I'm like like right now I'm able to have like part-time work. I do sometimes like for extra money I actually run live streams through Zoom and through OBS and Wirecast, like remote computers. It's like a really like it's like basically a
No
tech job,
way.
which is very strange because I am not tech oriented. Like my mind does not think like I don't have a tech savvy brain generally, but I've
Wow.
been working this job because my brother, who is extraordinarily tech savvy, he recommended me, and I, was running a show, and I'm very good at like talking to people and like customer service stuff. So, but it was
Yeah.
I'm able to do that like part time and get by as far as like money goes, and living
Cool.
here has really helped me save. And so what I'm hoping is like I can keep saving and stuff, but keep creating for as long as I can. And then once like I can start making money from the creations that I have, then I can make that my like absolute 100% full time and not have to do any sort of like any sort of side job like that.
Yeah, it's just like general laborious like
Yeah, I mean,
work.
I worked as like in like college. I was like a server for a while, and like I have so much respect for servers because they go through it. Like you have to do customer service plus it's like you're paid by the person you're serving. So I guess it's like how good they perceive you as doing is how much they're gonna pay you. Because a lot of times some people won't tip, and it's like you're working so hard. And so I did that for a while,
Right.
and it was oof, like it put me through it. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night with stress dreams from that job, like where I was like, I just
Man.
got sat like an 8 top table, and I'm doing other things, and I can tell you, like, one time I was literally I was working my job. I was behind the bar, and I was like 18, and I like was having to, or not 18. Well, I was 18, I think, and I had just gotten my like, ABC license to be able to like serve alcohol to like the patrons and stuff like that. So I was making a margarita, and I forgot to put the lid on the top, and I shook it. And I was in the middle of my shift, and I had like 4 tables, all who hadn't even had their drinks yet. And I like shook this margarita onto myself, and I was just standing there behind the bar like,
Oh
oh
my goodness.
no. And so I just had to like quickly remake the drinks and then go serve them. And I was like drenched, and I was like, sorry, I spilled a little margarita on myself. It was rough. It was like, I mean, I made good money, but oh, let me
Yeah,
tell you, it was not worth the stress.
that's a
It
real
was, oh,
struggle. Oh man, I worked at Jenny's Ice Cream for a while, and I would.
I love Jenny's ice cream.
Isn't it cute? It's a fun
Mhm.
place. It's delicious too. But yeah, I would have dreams, just down the conveyor belt of ice cream. I would just I would just be serving ice cream in my dreams, which is so
Yeah,
annoying. When you wake up and you're like, man, now I'm about to go to work, and even in my dreamscape, I was doing this stupid
I
job.
know, I know.
Dude, you know what would be really fun for us to do together one day? This is like in total, like take like visit Fantasyland with me real quick. Would be we would do really well together. It would be have like a really cute ice cream shop. That would
It
be
would
so
be
fun.
so cute.
Yeah, and just make it like
Mm.
really, really aesthetic, like a really
Yes,
glittery, beautiful
glittery
ice cream.
vintage, and then have like I'll put my fairy wings on the wall. But
Yeah.
all the ice cream scoopers, people, what is it? Is it just ice cream server? Is that what you would call?
At Jenny's, you're called an ice cream ambassador.
Okay, the ice cream ambassadors would be ice cream fairies, and they would all wear fairy wings.
I think that'd be amazing. I think that's
Yes,
a
and we
great
can have
idea.
like Wednesday night like music nights.
Yeah. Oh, yes, this is a great idea. I think that ice cream is really fun. It's like
I
this
do
weird, like
too.
decadent, like especially like the way like Jenny's rolls and stuff. It's like there's just something very like special about like the ways you can make different flavors and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't personally drink, so I always find it to be a fun thing that brings people together. That's not
Yeah,
a
I do
bar.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something really charming about it. So that's why I liked
Mhm.
working in ice cream for the little bit that I did.
I worked in the ice cream business. That's
Yeah, I was
what.
in the ice cream game for a while. No, yeah, right. Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe if I actually like made ice cream, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I've always like wanted to do like coffee shop stuff too. Like at home, I consider myself a barista. I'll like since all this
Cool.
quarantine time, I bake constantly and I like make little like fancy coffee drinks and like here's my coffee. I got addicted to caffeine over
Whoa,
quarantine.
oh, how fun.
Woo!
Dude, do you have
But
an espresso machine at your house?
I don't, but I make my own version of espresso, which is just me putting my K cup into the Keurig on the strong setting with 4 ounces. That's what I do. And then I'm like,
Whoa.
espresso. It's not really espresso, but it's
Yeah,
in my
right. Whoa,
mind.
I never thought about that. That's actually like the closest you could get to an espresso. Like, whoa, that's
Yeah,
really
that's what I mean. That's what so I've been doing that. And then I'll try to make like a caramel syrup or like something like that. And I got one of those like electric milk frothers. Let me tell you, those things change the game.
whoa,
They
yeah, that's really cool.
change it. Like you froth your milk in that thing. Like I use almond milk, and so I'll put like my almond milk in there, and then I'll put like a little bit of like a sea salt and like some of my caramel, and I'll like blend it in there, and then I'll pour it on top, and I'll be like, delicious. A whole
Wow.
spread.
That's incredible. Wow. That's so you are amazing. You do everything. This is so exciting to
I'm
talk to
just
you right
too
now.
extra for no reason. There's no good reason for me to do all that.
I think no, I think there is totally a reason. I think the reason is apparent. Um or it will be. Do you okay, so this has been an amazing conversation. This is awesome because the one thing I wanted to talk to you about we haven't even talked about yet,
Oh gosh.
which is fine, but we just have so much to talk about. I had no clue we are gonna have so much in common, and you were just one of the most interesting people. I wanted to talk to you about your Instagram situation.
Oh
Can we
yeah.
talk about it? I know it's kind of like
Yeah.
we've been having a great conversation. This is like kind of
Oh
dark or
yeah,
like
you're good.
sad.
Oh,
But the reason I wanted to plug it was because for anyone listening who doesn't know, isn't familiar with you, your Instagram is like in peril, and my heart aches for you because as much as we socially, culturally pretend like Instagram is like trivial, it's everything in a lot of ways. And
yeah,
as somebody
especially in
who,
the climate
who
of things right now.
yeah, exactly, with the internet being so important, and it's like man, if I lost my Instagram, I've been growing that stupid app, my following on there for years and years, and I
Yeah.
just my heart aches for you. I really hope that you regain access. I know you like did, but now you're like not totally sure if you
Yeah, so
have.
basically, yeah, like right now, I've like been building this account since I was like 15. Like so this has been a long time. Like and
Yes, exactly.
I've just like recently gotten my like more like followers from TikTok, and I was just really excited to have a platform. And I was getting on to 10K. I was really excited.
Yeah.
But then I ended up falling for a phishing email, and I got hacked.
What is a phishing email? Can we know what that looks like?
Yeah, so it was basically it was somebody impersonating TikTok, And I was not aware that in the IP address for a legitimate TikTok email, it would be whatever the email is at tiktok.com or at TikTok email or something like that. And it was a Gmail. And so that should have been my first warning, but it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I had just filled out a bunch of like forms for different things. And so I was just in my filling out mode. And I had just gotten approved for I was like, I get in a mode where I'm like,
I get
okay, we're
that.
just scrolling through, just filling out stuff. And then I got to that email and I was like, oh, and it said something about verification, and I had just gotten verified for the Creator Fund. And so I figured it was something to do with that. And then I clicked on it and I put in my thing, and I got a message through WhatsApp that said, you're hacked. I own your account now. And sure enough, they had taken over my account, and I was being harassed by them through the app, and they were asking for money for me to get
Through
it
WhatsApp?
through WhatsApp. Yeah. And they were asking for money, and they were kind of like harassing me, like when I would be on one of my other accounts trying to like get them out of my main account. They would be saying things like, I can see you typing, like what are you doing, and like all this stuff. And like I'm gonna like they were saying in the beginning that they were gonna delete stuff like the longer I took to give them the money. And of course I didn't pay them or anything, because never ever in those situations pay the person, because they're not gonna give you the account back. I've known people
Wow.
who have done that and paid, and they don't give the account back. They just take your money and keep the account, and
Man,
it's like messed
really?
up.
So there's no point in even like playing
Yeah,
divine.
exactly. So I've learned a ton from the situation. But it really sucks about, losing what I have so far. But basically where I am right now, I was able to somehow get my account back on a fluke. I don't know what it was. I don't know. But one time, the email that they had changed, like they had changed the email associated with my account. And so when I got in there, it was making it kind of impossible to reset my passwords back
Right,
because they
right.
had changed the email. But one of the options one day, it just came up as an option to change the email and to send my verification to a different email, and which was my original one. And I was like, yes, send it to a different email. So I immediately jumped on that,
Wow.
within a matter of like 10 minutes, I was back in. And so I was able to kick them out and everything. And I set up all of my like security measures really well. And they had archived everything luckily instead of deleting it. So I was able to get some of my pictures back and things like that.
Weird. I wonder why they did that. Maybe just for blackmailing purposes, they could like prove that you
Probably.
could still access it or something.
Yeah, yeah. But so I did that,
Wow.
and then I was back in for a week, and I was kind of afraid to post. I posted, but I was kind of like being timid about it because I wasn't sure if Instagram was going to flag my account because of all the reports it had on it. Because
Wow,
of,
yeah.
the being hacked and everything. So I was just kind of like, I didn't want to be marked as spam or something like that. So I just tried to only post like once that week. And then just 2 days ago, I went to log into my Instagram, or I like went to just go to the app on my phone, and it came up with like a pop-up that said, excuse me, it came up with a pop-up that was like, verify that this is your account. And it was within the app. It wasn't like an external thing. So I know it's within the app that it's asking me to do this. So it's an Instagram thing rather than an
Right.
external source. But it was like, send a verification code to this email. And the email was the hacker's email that they had been using before. But it was basically like saying that I needed to send a security code to be able to log into my account. But I was like, I will not press send, because if I do that, then the hacker is going to get my security code and get back into my account. So
Right.
right now I'm in a weird limbo where I don't think they're in my account. I think I'm just gonna have to wait on Instagram to get back with me, because I filed a report again, and I filed the kind of
Right.
report where they're like, they send the verification, they ask you to send a picture with your username and with the code. And so I sent that, and then they sent me back like an automated help like page thing where it's like you just go and read like about their services and like
Yeah,
how
right.
troubleshooting, and like I was like,
Hmm.
this doesn't help me. So I
No.
think I'm gonna try a couple of different methods as the week goes on. If I'm just locked out, sometimes I know Instagram will take months to get back with people.
Yeah.
So if I am locked out, then I'll just convert my backup account right now into my new main account, which sucks because I've spent years and a lot of time building my aesthetics and building like my highlights and my stories, and just building that page and really putting
Yeah.
a lot into the captions and the community. But I
Yeah.
guess I can try to transfer as many of the people over as I can. And I just don't, I hate it, but like if that's what I have to do, then that's just what it is.
Yeah, right. They're man, gosh, that is
I
so
know, it just
frustrating.
sucks.
I had a friend who about a month ago like bought followers like on because he was like kind of blowing up in the I think it's like the Dominican Republic. And
Oh.
but anyway, he wanted like, help juice it a little bit. So he bought some followers, and Instagram, all of a sudden they made it where he could like couldn't post or comment or like anything
Mm.
on the account for like 2 weeks, and then he was back. And I know that's completely different, but I think it is definitely like a slow moving massive machine. Hopefully they'll get to eventually and clear it up.
Yeah, I
Cause
think maybe even my IP address has been flagged or something, just because I've been
yeah,
like when I tell you, I have been changing my passwords every day, every hour. Like I am,
hmm
because when it first happened, when I was first actually hacked, they were getting into everything. They were in my TikTok, they were in my Facebook, they were in my Instagram, they were in all my Instagram accounts, because I have like a little meme account for my friends, and then I have my main Instagram, and then I have like a cosplay Instagram because I've done cosplay, and like
terrifying.
so I was like, they were in like all of them, and I managed to kick them out of all of them except for my main one. But
What is their end goal? Like, aside from bribing you, like, why did they change it to like some weirdly like hipster aesthetic anyway? Like, that was
I
what was so
think
confusing to me.
I think they were trying to soup it up to sell it to someone who wants to buy like followers or buy an account.
That is so effed and so weird
Yeah,
and so
but it
dumb.
really it put me through the ringer. Like that was probably the most stressful like 3 days like when it was first hacked of my life. Like because it was like it felt like somebody had broken into my house and stolen stuff from me and was like just in there, and I didn't know what they were doing, because I was
Yeah,
like, are they harassing my followers? Are they like, and like they're totally taking down all this stuff I've posted? Like
man.
what are they getting my other information? Are they going to get into my bank account? Like, because
Right.
because
It's all
I had that
connected.
email and stuff linked to other things, so I had to just delink everything. And now I have like 80 different passwords for 80 different things, and like it definitely made me a lot more conscious of this kind of thing and
Yeah.
set up safeguards so I know in the future I won't make a stupid mistake like that, like answering a
Right.
phishing email. But yeah, it's been hard, and it's been a very emotionally taxing, as far as like first of dealing with the harassment, and then now having to accept that maybe I might not get my account back. um
Man.
yeah.
I'm so sorry if I had to go through that. There's no reason. I don't understand why you would ever need to go through that. There's always people always look for a spin. Oh, it's better. Glad you learned whatever, but it's like it just sucks. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate the sympathy. It's just, it is what it is at this point. And I'm
Yeah.
still so thankful for what I do have. I still have my TikTok, and I still have
Yeah. That's
I
great.
and I'm it'll give me I'm trying to think of it in a good way. I'm trying to be like, well, if I'm, less focused on Instagram, then maybe I can focus more on Twitch and more on like these new things that I want to
Yeah.
start doing. And maybe this is just a good excuse for me to start, getting
Yeah.
those things set up. But then again, I also am resetting up my whole Instagram, which sucks. But
The
like I
best
said, trying to see the bright side.
the best I think the bright side that I would see is that seem incredibly motivated and you're incredibly talented, and every single person endures roadblocks, and all you can do is just like keep moving forward, keep waking up the next day and taking steps. And like at the end of the day, like stuff like that's just so out of your control. I
Yeah.
just feel like all you can do is keep moving on, and
Yeah.
eventually you won't feel the repercussion of it anymore, especially with the way your TikTok is growing. And like you said, I don't know. I mean, I just think the people who were following that account who no longer like who you've lost, like were lost anyway. Like they were just like a number. Like they probably weren't engaging with you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I tried my best to like on my other account like to follow all the people that were like my mutuals and who were like talking with me on a daily basis, and I have some like
mhm,
really devoted followers that I've like really like had a good online relationship with, and I'm like was able to get them over to this account too, and like keep those
Yeah.
relationships, because a lot of Instagram for me was getting to see people, like-minded people, and getting into a community. And I'm very thankful that I've even gotten to be a part of communities on Instagram, and to get to know these people that I otherwise would have never met in real life. Or I just I'm really thankful for that aspect of it, and I'm thankful that they were able to follow me here, to my backup Instagram that I'm on.
Yeah.
But who knows, maybe, I mean, I'm trying to be hopeful, but I'm also trying to be realistic. So I'm trying to decide also if I were to have to totally restart and like make my backup my regular one, if I would maybe like change my username, or like, I don't know, because now my other account owns that username. So
Yeah.
unless if it somehow gets changed in there, I can't go back to OMG Sunny D, and I don't want to be like OMG Sunny D with like a little line on the end, and so it's
Yeah.
like, which one is the
Underscore.
real one? Might be confusing, I don't know. So I'm just
Yeah.
like pondering. I'm like, well, what I could go with. I gotta think of a fun username or something that sounds like OMG Sunny D, but maybe is, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just
Right.
brainstorming.
Yeah. Right. You've got, wow. Yeah.
Gotta
You,
rebrand now, I guess.
yeah. You gotta read.
My hacker trademark rebrand.
It is so disgusting. It's just crazy. That's just and terrifying. Like, because so much of the internet is like, we're operating on these apps and stuff like out of our control. I just read, I don't know if this means anything to you, but I just read Edward Snowden's memoir. Do you know anything about that guy?
No.
He like worked for the government and leaked a bunch of stuff, and the government's
Oh yeah,
like
I've
trying to
heard.
put him in
Okay, yeah, I have heard
jail.
of that.
But he's like literally living in Russia right now, like escaping arrest because the U.S. is trying to like put him in jail. Um, but anyway, the whole book, he's like trying to explain how like the internet works and how it's scary because we're trying to grow our whole like artistic movements on these apps now, and then like things like that happen. You're just like all of a sudden you're so helpless. Like there's nothing you can do. It's just like
You're
I'm
at the
locked out
mercy
of.
of.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm like kicked out of the club, and I don't have a key inside, and the bouncer won't let me back in. And
Yep.
you're like, hey, let me back in, and then they're like, oh, this will take like 2 weeks, and we might get back to you. And you're just like, I don't have this like kind of
Yeah.
time. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to do something now. I'm incredibly impatient too, so it just
Oh yeah. No.
infuriates me.
It was like every second was an hour for me in that time, because like,
Right.
especially like every single time I look at I was constantly on my phone, trying to monitor things and like change, like I said, changing passwords. I'm not even kidding. Every 10 minutes, I would be changing a password. Like every 10 on some account. Like I would be like, time to change. Like I set up like new emails. I was like, it's like freaking out. But it's like, it feels like a black hole sometimes. Like, you get in there and you're like, yeah, I was totally at the mercy of this hacker that just had all my stuff. Like he had they had all my followers. They had all my content, and I was just kind of, they had my
Yeah.
name even, so it was scary. And
Right.
I think that's why it's really important, I think, for people as creators to have multiple outlets for their
Mhm.
their content and stuff like that, because now I know that like firsthand, just being thankful for having TikTok, and especially because my main following is on there. But I like to try and think, what if that was hacked? What would I do? And so I'm like trying to take steps to safeguard that nothing ever happens to those accounts, as well as trying to make other options for getting my art out there and getting my image out there. And
Yeah.
I'm probably going to try and make a website soon and like stuff like that. It's a lot of work, so it's like scary. And like I already have to like be getting my Spotify designs up for my single release and like all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I'm like working on getting all that together. So it's just one more thing on the list that I know I need to do. And it's just scary and intimidating, but I know that once I actually put my mind to it and say this is what I'm gonna do, then I'll do it. And you know I'll make it work, however.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. You've proven yourself now. That's like you've already done so many amazing things that I feel like nobody could doubt you on that.
Thank
That's
you.
really cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see what you do next. I'm excited to hear your music you're working on, and to, and all these other ideas you're working on. That's just so exciting. And
Thank you.
I think that's really wise what you're saying about you working across different apps and across different mediums. And I think that especially like, I don't know, that's like you could pour all of your time into TikTok, and what you're saying totally, I think holds a lot of truth. as someone who's trying to be just a creator and like an artist, we saw Vine come and go, and I think
Yeah.
after that I kind of, and there's a lot of, there's probably like 4 or 5 people who are pretty famous on Vine that I still follow on different social media, and just like watching, I don't know, thinking about like and watching what happened to them. It's just very you never know what's going to happen like with apps and stuff, and if people are going
Yes.
to keep
Yeah.
using them, and it's better to just kind of like be a person that is like a figure that is
Engaged all around. Yeah.
yeah, engaged just with people wherever they want to engage. Maybe
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I think that makes a lot of
No,
sense.
I think yeah, I think like because especially like that's why I was happy to have like Instagram following too, because I was like, well, if TikTok ever does go like Vine does, then I can just be like going over to Instagram, and like then whatever the next trend is, I could hop onto that new app or whatever. But
Yeah,
I like especially like TikTok just because of like I feel like everybody who ends up being a creator on TikTok starts out for the memes. It's like you're starting out and you're like watching these like memes and you're like, this is so funny. And then one day you're like, wait, I could make that. And then you're like, okay, I made the
yeah,
meme.
right.
Then people start feeling more comfortable showing their art or showing like, other things about them. I've been actually like kind of scared to like show more of my music and stuff on TikTok, or as far as like, I don't know, just because music is so important to me and it's so like dear to my heart. I'm like afraid that like commenters or something like that would be rude or something. I'm like, I know my
Right.
followers, and I know they're all super like kind and sweet and I love them. But like I do know there's always those trolls like who will go on and be like just say stupid things that like make you feel bad, and I'm like, I don't want to feel that.
Yeah, yeah. Especially like TikTok, there's for some reason there's even more of like you can kind of just say whatever. Like people like you might post a song, then some random 11-year-old boy from a different country just says like that ain't it, chief, and then you see them
Yeah, and
like,
it's like,
oh, this sucks, like my art, like ow, that hurts my
yeah, my
feelings.
art, my heart. But no, I feel like a lot of that's like one thing I've noticed is like the disconnect between a lot of people like don't realize that like creators are like people. Like we are human beings. Like we're not
Hmm.
like I brush my teeth just like you do every morning. I like I
Yeah,
sit in the couch and binge watch TV. Like I wrap up in a blanket and I take a nap. Like we are
totally.
humans. We have daily lives, and some people just like they get this idea, like this glorified idea in their heads, and they're like, this is like not a person, so they don't have feelings. Like so it's
Right.
cool, and I'm like,
Right.
no, that's like I have my support animal like stuffed animal right here. Like I'm a human being. I do have the flaws and I do have the anxieties, but
Yeah.
I just try to do my best at putting positive vibes out, and I like I said, I want to make people smile, and so I try to show the best of me, and um I try to show when I do have insecurities and be like, and you're valid for having insecurities too. Like, and I think
Yeah.
that's important as well as being a creator as well.
Yeah, I think that's very true, especially for people like us who, we're living with our families, where in the city we grew up in, like clearly you and as well as myself are people who are very focused on our art, and we're focused on, or our career, however you want to spin it, whether it's your,
Yeah.
there's different phrases and words you can use, but our artistry, and we especially are going to be sensitive to the fact, like if people are like showing criticism, like of course I read every comment, like because it's the only thing I care about. Like I don't have something else. I'm not like, well, now I'm going to go focus on this beautiful house and my job and my wife and kids. It's like I literally live in my parents' basement to create, and like the
Yeah.
response that it gets is very important to me. Oftentimes maybe too important. Like I recognize that I need to probably separate from it more, like you said, just create more, be my own bubble, like you were saying, going to the grocery store in your outfit. Sometimes I feel like I need to like disconnect more from it, but it's like, yeah, of course, that all means so much to me. So I get scared too. I definitely understand that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
especially because like as performers, it's like part of what we love is to please people and like to give someone something interesting and engaging and something that they can appreciate. And so
Yeah.
when you get like some sort of hate about it, it's like, it really hurts. It hurts in a different way, because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like not only is that my actual child that I have like art, my little art here, this is what I've created, and
Yeah.
you just like dissed on it, and I did, but I made it for you. Like,
Yeah.
rude. Like, it just
Rude.
hurts.
Rude alert. Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, for real. I think that's very true. we've dude, this has been like the best conversation ever. We've reached the end of our hour block, but like I feel like I could talk to you forever and ever. I would love to if you ever or when your single comes out, or if you ever have something you want to promote in the future, you want to come on here and talk again, I would absolutely love it.
Oh
I know you've
yeah,
already
no,
got
thank
a
you.
huge internet following, so but this is very valuable to me, and it's been very amazing for me. So I really appreciate
No,
taking the
thank
time
you.
to
This has been
be part of
awesome for
this.
me. I've enjoyed every second of it. I just like talking. So literally like I'll come on anytime and just ramble, I promise.
Great. Well, please do. I really look forward to that.
Yay!
I like to end with a question that is that it's not a very introspective question, but it's just that I'm curious who else you think I should bring onto this show. Do you have any
Ooh.
like friends or like people in Nashville, Murfreesboro, or just online that you think would
Um,
be
well,
interested
I mean,
and be
I
interested to
first one
talk?
that comes to mind is Allison, just because I know her and she's
Allison
super interesting
Young.
and fun. Yeah, I
Perfect.
guess
I'll write that down. I'll hit up
yeah,
Allison.
and I don't really let's see. I'd have to look at my I keep all of my like mutuals on like my Instagram, but I can't get on my Instagram. Anyway, that's just me screaming.
Yeah.
I'll message you though if I can think of anyone else.
Yeah, please do. Please do for real. Anything
Oh,
else we should
also,
talk
wait, I
about?
do have a friend, my friend Garvin. Garvin, they go to school in New York right now, but they'll be in Nashville probably for the holidays. And but they do
Garvin.
historical and like costume design for film and for stage. So
Cool.
they'd be really interesting to talk to.
Garvin.
Yeah, Garvin.
Sweet. I wrote it down.
I'll link you to their Instagram and stuff.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Wow, thank you so much. Anything else we should say? Support Sunshine. Support find her on TikTok, Instagram, and really just be her friend because she's on
Thank
every yeah.
you.
It's been great talking to you, and
It was so good talking to you. Thank you so much for having
wonderful to
me.
meet you, really, truly.
Yeah, wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, thanks. I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
Bye
Bye.
bye.